Join us for a review of the Renault Arkana. Let's go! Here in the front, the Renault Arkana shows the friendly Renault face. Then the daytime running lights, see here, forms this either C on the one hand or opposite C form. The main headlamp unit comes with LED as standard. This one, being the RS line, is a sporty design pack. So we have this mesh structure in black in the lower area for more strong design in the lower area right here. The length is at 4 meters 57, 15 foot or 180 inches. So that's then lengthwise between the Katja and the Koleos. And here when I have the key in my pocket, you see here the car opens itself. Also greetings to put out the side mirrors in a contrasting style. Yeah, and again this really screaming out orange color for today. Some strong shoulders right there in this SUV coupe styling. And yeah, if you think about, you could get 10 of these or one Lamborghini Euros. Yeah, that's your choice. Wheels come from 17 inch to 18 inch. These here are the optional 18 inch wheels in black design. And in the rear we can see a modern light signature. You can see here the light goes right there. So, and also stretched, stressing the width of the vehicle. Then you have in the RS line here this black contrasting lip. Lower end here, this is like a something graphic, I don't know. But this here, fake exhaust police, autogefühl fake exhaust police is in place because, yeah, this is a pure case of a fake exhaust. Under the hood, first of all, gas struts. We hardly ever see that at this price point. Turbo petrol engine, 4 cylinders, 140 horsepower or 160. This is the lower spec here for today. Always made it with the automatic gearbox, a dual clutch transmission, front wheel drive only. Mild hybrid system for some regenerative braking. And then there will also be the 1.6 liter naturally aspirated petrol engine. This is an inbuilt hybrid with a bigger battery. Not that big, of course, so a true hybrid like, for example, Toyota is using battery size-wise. But then rather with the system we already know from Honda, with a hybrid system that can drive the front wheels in an electric way, but that can also be driven directly from a combustion engine, or where the combustion engine can also serve as a generator depending on the speed you are driving, always picking the most efficient mode. And it's still then front wheel drive, but with 2 electric motors, one serving then as a generator, as a transmission for the generator, so to speak, and the other then directly to drive the wheels. If you are a Renault customer, you know Renault had these key cards even before Tesla had them. Yeah, the Tesla one is really like a credit card. This one is just a very slim key fob. Nothing new with Renault, but actually quite good to put it in your pocket. But you can also use it with keyless entry. Here, closing it with the button right here, and then I step away from the vehicle for a second. That the vehicle thinks I'm gone, but I'll be back. Jawohl. So, and then I come back and the car greets me with folding out the side mirrors, and I don't have to put my hand on the inside to open it. It's already open right now, and I can show you the door closing sound, which is somewhat okay. Yeah, actually quite good. Why not? Then inside of the doors, RS line, we have the soft touch materials right here, red contrast stitches then in this sports design line, then also with this carbon fiber styling insert. Once again, soft plush here. Then we have the optional Bose sound system, RS line entry badge, RS line floor mats down there, and also the steering wheel with the yellow contrast stitches on the inside, perforation left and right, electric seat control right here, front, and also then the back part, electric control here also of the lumbar support. I usually leave it all out, you know, like back, I don't put it in. Then the steering wheel up and down, in and out, a smooth process, and we also have some nice shifting levers right here. Overall, the first quality impression is actually quite decent. And then the headroom, when I'm sitting here with 1m86 or 6'1", still some headroom left. Interior overview here with a soft touch dashboard, and in the RS line here with this carbon fiber styling, and they really did it in a very great and sophisticated way. It looks really real. Then you have different options as for the screen. Here in the central part you either get a 7-inch screen, which is more horizontally oriented, or this bigger 9.3-inch screen, which is vertically oriented. Soon more deals to that. On the left side you start with analog gauges with 5.2-inch small screen in the middle. These here are the optional, or then included in the high trims, full digital 10.25-inch instruments. Taking a look at the digital instruments, they're very clear to read. You can also change the brightness, left next to the steering wheel for example, and then you can also have a GPS view if you like, all over the place, that you have the GPS map in your line of sight. And if you switch to the sport mode for example, the gauges also adapt and have then this centralized RPM and speed view. Infotainment screen, you can see here the Apple CarPlay integration. It also has a quite clear display overall. I would like a turning volume knob, so this stalk column behind the steering wheel is not the best, I think. But the Bose sound system here, it's actually quite decent, so yeah, I like it. So it has a typical Bose sound as well, you know what I mean. Hard to describe, but if you have a Bose sound system at home or in a car, you know what I mean. And then let's go back to the Renault system. You can also have the car internal GPS, which is, from the visualization, not the most fancy one, but it does the job. You see, it's also responsive enough, so fast enough. So I've really reworked the whole infotainment system thing. As for the rear seats, well, it's a compact SUV. Is there any compromise as for headroom and for leg space and so on? Inside of the doors here is hardpack on the top part, then soft here for your elbows and so on. Also electric levers for the windows and even automatic function. Then you can see here the red stitches style also for the rear seats. There we go. And you see in the middle console there is some step, and although it's a front-wheel driven platform, and then you have USB chargers, USB-A chargers, but you already see that legroom wise this probably won't be the best result for today. Let's see. Yeah, I somewhat fit in here very closely, but yeah, I do hit the front seat with my knees when I'm driving, so the packaging is not the best, so you should just be a little bit smaller than me. Headroom wise, however, this directly fits, so headroom wise no problem. And the overall seating position is not bad here, actually also quite upright. Just you should be a little bit shorter as for the legs. What about that trunk? Is there a compromise because of this building style? It's a manual hatch here, but just fine with that. Good gas struts right and left. You have this cover here, but you can also remove it. And you see here, very well usable still. It's not too high, at least in this setup, because here there is this even loading sill, so that it's easier to load things in and out. About 500, a little bit over 500 liters, up to 1,300 liters when you fold the seats. And the true hybrid version then has 70 liters less. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the all-new Renault Arkana or Arkana. Here, starting with the steering. You see, I don't have to steer that much. It's really easy to steer. It doesn't give me the best connected feeling, but it's actually quite okay. Here, maybe it's it lets you lay a little bit. That is, of course, more relaxed for running straight. It's not that progressive, but overall, I think quite okay. The perforated structure here also gives you a good grip here on the steering. As for the overview, you have this SUV coupe building style. That means to the rear there's just a tiny, very flat window to look through, but you can still see things. And to the sides, it's okay. The B-pillar is quite thick, as usually with the cars nowadays. But you also have the blind spot mounter. We will see that in action also pretty soon. There's another Arkana at the traffic light right here, same color. And then a little bit slalom like you feel that the suspension is actually quite stiff, quite sporty, and this is also supposed to set it apart a little bit from the normal SUV siblings in the Renault portfolio. If you think about the Kadjar and the Colliers, the car is here between them lengthwise, but from the whole design and also from the driving part, it's more in a sporty orientation. It's not a car to do racing, although it looks quite sporty on the exterior. Here, now at a reasonable motorway speed, it's really relaxing. You just rely on the dual clutch transmission right there. Nice noise insulation so far, and the upright seating position, indeed a very relaxed feeling. And then we can also let us drop back a little bit and see what about the acceleration when we are already at speed. So first of all, let's check the consumption figure before we do it's about 7 liters at the moment. So and now I'll wait until the road is straight, so we don't have any bias when going downhill or uphill or something. There we go, and I leave it in normal D mode so far. Let's go. $120, $130, and 150 kilometers an hour. So you see, it's not a very quick engine. It takes some time until the turbo sets in, also until the downshift is happening. But you still, due to the turbo, you can accelerate on the motorway. And here still at, about 140 kilometers an hour now, so like 80, 85 miles an hour, still reasonably silent. So it's not that the wind noise would be picking up too much, actually. So also interesting to have these sporty driving modes. So if you want a little bit more tune to that, you can then pick that sports mode. It's overall a very, very good price performance offering, and starting even lower than 30,000 euros, of course more than 30,000 euros when you have some equipment in it. It's one of the best, or maybe the best price performance offering in this SUV coupe segment. So of course there here and there are some downsides. Consumption, by the way, is something 6 to 7 liters on 1 kilometers, so 30 mpg US, 40 mpg UK. But although we have some downsides, which is no wonder at all, considering the price of this vehicle, this is a super decent offering, and I'm quite sure it will be very successful. Again, polarizing this whole segment. Is it something for you? Tell me in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed our episode for today. See you next time.